My son took my pen and it never came back. Remember, he had it at the box outside.
Ooh.
That was the end of that. Let me see if I can.
That does sound about right.
Oops, that's not what I expected on my screen. Let me see if this thing will connect. I think it's too far.
People laugh at me for giving them toothpicks. And right now, I'm facing that exact reason as to why you have toothpicks.
Oh, do you have some biltong?
Coriander.
Coriander.
Man.
Are we live?
We should be live.
We should be live. Did you click all the buttons?
Uh-huh.
Press all the bits and pieces?
Uh-huh.
Well, good morning, goeiemorgen. It's been a bit of a busy morning. Lots of things to do. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday to America.
Quincentennial?
Is it quincentennial? Okay.
If
Quarter century.
Quarter century.
Yes. And if anybody is not a fan of America,
go away.
Yes, please.
Go pound
away.
sand.
I already had a guy this morning
Bye.
that's like, I just wish all Americans would fuck off. I'm like, Jesus. So I just said, if it wasn't for America, the world would be communist right now. Like, America's the only thing that stood in its way.
Maybe he's a communist.
I think he's a South African, actually.
So maybe he's a communist.
Sigilstone started the fight. You had to throw some stones.
It's like it's in his name or something. I don't know.
So anyway, please, if you're not pro-America, just don't come here. It's not. It's,
like, don't come to America.
Yes, like not to America, not to the show, not to America, not to anything. Stay where you are, cry in your coffee, tea, whatever you want to drink.
Yeah, we drink coffee here.
Yes.
Bold.
Yes.
And it tastes like coffee.
Bold, black, and tasty.
Oh. Good morning, Sith. How are you?
Oh, good morning, Sith.
Yes.
I don't know how many people we're going to have on this morning.
It is the 4th of
it's
July.
The 4th. There might be
Maybe
some,
they partied
yes,
last
there might be a little
night.
bit of hanging over.
I don't know what that is. Is that a thing?
I haven't had alcohol in so long. I don't even know what that feels like anymore. But I will tell you.
Horrible. I dried them up.
Well, I will tell you something. It's actually pretty good to wake up in the morning and feel pretty decent, like ready to rumble. Pun intended. And it was fun, but there comes a time when more important things are afoot. And your mind is not as clear if you consume said substances.
That is the theory.
I wanted to share the stream this morning. I was so busy.
I got your back.
All right. I wanted to share it before so we could
say
drum
hello
up
to
some.
Chappie and Dingo Dan.
Oh, good morning.
With all
good
of
morning.
the American flags. I love it.
Yes.
You are welcome, sir. You
so
stay.
I have a whole news cast, I guess.
I did give him a hard time.
Yeah. So this was pretty interesting. Less kind of general knowledge around the Navy and the Marines compared to the Army, because I think the Army was kind of in the thick of things from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where the whole Independence Day, which is today, started. So I'm actually very glad we're doing the Army, because it's very much linked into the Independence Day. It's very fitting for today. And we didn't plan it like this. It just kind of worked out. So we did. We just decided on the 1st of July, the morning, actually, I decided, you know what? Why don't we just do, and I'm just going to try my best, so I might get some of the facts wrong, but let's just do a history, like American history, around the founding and just around basic facts of America, because I think a lot of people lack context, and a lot of it's been left out on purpose.
I don't even know a lot about it.
It's left out by design, because they don't want people to be patriotic. There's a reason they stopped. What's the writing? Cursive. Sorry,
so
I'm not English as first language. So
what do you call that?
Vasskryf. Yes.
Vasskryf.
Yes.
I like
so skryf is writing, and vas is like like together.
You see why I like him?
Yes.
It's very sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the language. It's nice.
So
He sounds
so
funny,
yes, sometimes
but he's very
I
American
can't find the
with
words.
the sexy language.
Oh, you see. My wife is full of compliments today. I did shave, so that's
Because
maybe
I got
why.
a bush on my head.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history that's been left out, and people try. I think it's this whole globalist bullshit thing that they just want everyone to be grey. Nobody must be an individual, and we must all just accept each other. Except there's, some cultures they would say is a little more
I like
civilized
I
and
like
better
this.
than others. Some of the ladies that's calling for specific things to happen, they're going to be very sorry when those things happen because they do not understand. They don't understand the shit that comes with that. But anyway,
Right.
they will
Do
learn.
you want me to join the people in before we go too thick in the thieves?
Yeah.
I've got Chappie stating my mom's dad fought and Papua New Guinea fought Papua New Guinea against the Japanese. My dad's dad fought in Europe against Germans. Both of them were in the army. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
And then Seth, FYI, if you want your kids to learn awesome revolutionary history as well as proper American riflemanship, look for a Project Appleseed Club in your area.
Okay, interesting.
You mean I can't just go show them in the back?
Well, we literally step out the back here, and then we just shoot. Yes, we might have shot yesterday without our headgear.
My
ears are ringing a little.
Still ringing.
That's like we're not doing that again.
I'm not doing that
yes.
again.
Yeah, we shot them. And
one of those was a little loud.
Yes, we should have.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Was it mine or yours?
It was the 9.
Yeah, well, the 9 mils were
It was
very,
the 9s.
like unexpectedly so. So I'm like, we need to put the headgear on if we do that again.
Stupid. By the way, I love Papua New Guinea because Papua New Guinea has my
yeah, our coffee is from Papua New Guinea.
Awesome people in Papua New Guinea. Gemma, good morning.
Good morning, Gemma. So so there, I think it's by design, and it's not just in the US, but I think more so in the US because we have a lot more to lose.
Yes.
In the world. The world has a lot more to lose if the US dwindles and disappears, and that will give a lot of people that want, and I don't quite understand why they want the whole kind of grey person commie socialist takeover, except to, control us and use us as cattle, basically. So you will work,
there are many,
you will eat the bugs, and you will own
happy.
nothing, and you will be happy.
There are a lot of conspiracy theories around the reasoning behind all of these actions in which we are facing. But no matter the conspiracy theory, there are things happening, and knowing our history is very beneficial to us.
Yes,
So.
You learn a lot when you watch history. And, something that I think a lot of people don't understand is the adversity these people lived under in like the 1700s. It's not like today where you can have 2 showers and you have clean, like, if I get a gash, I've got stuff I can clean my wound with, and I got clean bandages, and I got a Walmart which I can drive to and go buy stuff, and like that shit didn't exist.
But why go to Walmart when you have an app service where you can order and then you can complain when they don't show up fast enough?
Yes, there's a lot of,
when I see that I just stop it.
There's a lot of comfort in the world, which was not around when, these men fought and declared this country. So I think, we stand literally on the shoulders of giants and complain at, not getting my delivery on time. It's like, I understand, but, sometimes you just have to understand that, things go wrong and it's not the end of the world.
Maybe expecting things to be delivered in like an hour is unrealistic, and you should just drive to the store and go get it.
Yes. Which you can actually drive to the store and go get it.
You can. You don't have to ride your horse.
So let me start at the beginning.
Yeah.
So the U.S. Army was born out of people. So these were not trained men that formed this army. These were blacksmiths and farmers and, preachers and printers and people like common folk that were basically pushed over the limit. And the unofficial formation of the army happened in Philadelphia. Again, so Philadelphia is
Is there a
yes.
spot for this one? I have to know.
So what happened was, and I like because I copied the wording exactly because I like how Grok gave this to me, and I don't want to like single out Grok. I'm sure all AI will be similar, but I will tell you what it said.
Ooh, okay,
So
go.
the colonies,
Go.
they say, were stretched to its breaking point due to taxation without representation, and the taxation wasn't just monetary.
No.
Okay, there was a lot of other things, and I will explain that, which
Yeah.
was very interesting, which I think will form very nicely part of when we do the independence on
Got it.
Wednesday. We want to do a history of the independence and why, 4th of July, and blah, blah, blah. So we'll do that. But this is going to tie in.
brought that up.
Yes.
So why that date?
This is going to tie in very nicely with that. But so there were a lot of things going on. Taxation, Tea Act. The British soldiers had to be quartered in houses. I never knew that.
Yes.
Okay, so that was not good. And
Yes.
and so
They
so
took over.
basically,
They
yes.
forced other people
Well,
in your
the thing
home.
is, yes. So not just that, and I'm sure together with that came all kinds of other shit.
Oh.
Because now you're letting soldiers in your house, so your daughters, your wives, things like that, and that's something the British, if I remember correctly, also that happened to the Scots, where a Scot couldn't marry another Scot without the permission of the king, and generally the soldiers raped her first, so it was not good, And I'm not I want to be very clear
I
here.
get some goosebumps. That's
This
not
is
nice.
but I want to be clear here. Remember, this is historic, and there's a lot of atrocities because believe me, this is
But it was meant to.
hold on, yes, but this is recorded history.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of shit that a lot of tribes did way worse than this. So I don't want to. I don't want to single out the English. This is just the history that was recorded at the time. So I don't want to. And I don't want our English friends to because England has their own challenges right now, and I think there's a lot of English that are as patriotic. I'm not an American.
Prague man.
Yes,
I mean, for
Prague
sure.
Man, hyphen,
who is here in the States right now,
yes,
eating biltong.
So I don't. This is just recorded history, and I'm not bashing the English. So don't get me wrong on that. I'm just stating the facts as they were.
Not to mention, I am English.
Yes, there's a lot of native history all over the world that was not recorded. That was way worse than this. All right, because they were known to murder all the men, enslave the women, take them as concubines, take the children, make them slaves. So but I'm just taking the history we got from the formation of the Army of America. So this is what we're discussing here, and we maybe do some local native history. After the July month, we can delve into some of that. That's going to be very interesting. Going to get some pissed off people, but anyway. So,
but it's history. I love it. Let's go.
So in 1770, March 5th, there was a massacre called the Boston Massacre. Now, it wasn't massive, but what basically happened is there were a crowd of people that were upset because of all this bullshit from the English, and the British soldiers fired into a crowd and killed 5 people. And I don't know, including Crispus Attucks, and I don't know, Atticus. Okay. So, and I don't know why he's relevant, but he must have been some kind of leader or something. But they just specifically name him, all right? And they were wounded 6, okay, sparked by tensions over taxes and British presence. Now, what the AI tells me is used as propaganda to fuel the revolution.
Propaganda is not a thing.
Well, it's not propaganda. It fucking happened. The British shot a bunch of Americans or a bunch of colonists. I don't want to say Americans because they weren't Americans yet; they were colonists. But the British armed forces shot civilians, okay, because they were upset with them getting rowdy. It's not propaganda. It fucking happened.
Put
so
today's terms.
But that's what AI said. So very fun. So in 1773, okay, the Tea Act came into play. Now, I found this particularly interesting. British law giving East India Company monopoly on tea sales to American colonies. Okay, now the East India Company was the same company that founded the fueling station in the Cape Colony in South Africa. Jan van Riebeeck, who was the founding
Yes,
father
yes.
of South Africa in 1752. He's the first dude that worked for the East India
You told
Company.
me about that.
Yes, he worked for them. So he was their representative. So basically, that's the same guys that founded the settlement in the Cape that was the refueling station. So I still maintain that a lot of those ships that came this way had biltong on them.
They had to
That's how they cured
thrive
meat
and
and gave it
survive.
to the ships as
Didn't
fuel.
that help with scurvy too?
Yes, well, no, it's like scurvy's bullshit. If you eat properly, scurvy.
That's what I mean.
Yes,
because
so-
you eat
so-
properly
So
and then you
people
don't
say
have
you're gonna have
scurvy.
scurvy if you don't eat your vitamin C. You are fucking oranges or
But
whatever.
no, you
Dude,
need
I
your
only eat
beets.
meat and eggs and cheese, and I have no scurvy.
But
It's been
that's
years,
why I
but
was
anyway.
saying I couldn't
So-
help myself.
And then they had the coercive acts, okay, which was a list of acts that came into play, okay, which also known as the intolerable acts. So British punishment for the Boston Tea Party, which was a party that was obviously came to play because they were dissidents and not happy with what was going on. So they closed the Boston port.
Because they got rid
Was-
of all the tea.
Yes, so they closed the Boston port. They altered the Massachusetts charter government, charter/government. They allowed the British officials, so British officials that committed atrocities are probably part of the Boston Massacre, to be tried in England. So not here,
Yes.
okay, which is not good.
No
because,
representation.
Yes, no representation. And then the Quartering Act got expanded. So part of the coercive acts, which were these, required the colonists to house, feed British soldiers in private homes, taverns, and other buildings if the barracks were insufficient, seen as a major violation of rights,
Yes.
which I agree with, because I mean soldiers, are jacked up on adrenaline and fighting and shit. So they do not do good things.
I don't want any military age people coming and living in my home.
Yes.
Just saying. Chappie does say, have Scottish in my father's family. Bobby Burns is my relative. Come from the Campbell clan. Campbell sold out their countrymen for riches and land.
A lot of people
There we
do that.
go.
So I just have a look at our current government,
Uh-huh.
and then you see them voting for huge amounts of our taxes getting sent to countries for no apparent reason.
Besides
So selling
their
out.
pocket.
Yes, so selling out, our fellow countrymen, or us being sold out
Yes.
for riches and land. It's not just an historic event, in my opinion. Okay,
That's
I have
why
no
we should
evidence
know.
of this, but I just find it very peculiar. When you see people do things and you cannot fathom why that is being done, it's like, why would you do that if we haven't rebuilt North Carolina after the storms, but we're sending billions to Ukraine, but no money to rebuild things here? It's like,
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Dead Dingo Dan reminds us that history is written by the AI algorithm. You're not
Right.
right. You're not
Right.
wrong.
That's why it's
Um,
very important to buy. What did we say yesterday? It's actually
Encycl- yes.
pre-99.
Well,
1990.
It's 2000, but 1990, really pre-1990.
So anything pre-2000, if you could get your hands on books and specifically first editions,
older.
keep them.
I mean, if
Keep them.
you can hit middle century, it's even better. If you can get closer to that 1950s, 1960s, you're going to be better off on the information. It's going to be better than
Yes,
later.
and you can correct the AI. Like, you can argue with it and tell it, no,
Yes,
this
but
is the facts, and it will.
the problem is, if you don't know what you don't
Yes,
know,
that's the
you're going
problem,
to
is you
fall
have to know.
into believing
Yes,
things
you have
that
to know,
are
because
not.
I said yesterday,
Yeah.
I've had specific things with AI where I factually know that it's wrong, and it argues with me, and I know for a fact, like, this is not how it works.
And I'm not actually convinced all AI is willing to take that feedback and use it, because we've seen that our shop. There is still information about our old shop in the old premises. Even though we've moved,
Yep.
we've tried to update both Apple AI and Google AI. They both use AI and it refuses to update
Yep.
it. We
Doesn't
have
update.
reached out multiple times. Got some more comments. Sith, I am German stock adopted into Campbell, and we hear the same story in my family, Chappie. So interesting.
Wow.
That's
Hey,
yeah,
some
connection.
Some cousins over there. Careful, don't marry in that family,
But
you know.
dude, it's all
Yes.
good.
No, but I mean
I
the
know.
family, the daughters and the sons, like, You might.
I'm sure pretty far removed
Yes,
country. I'm sure the
yes. No,
Campbells have
I'm
made
just
a.
joking. I'm just joking. Well, Ron, we know Ron
I
Campbell.
know. I
Yeah.
thought of him. I literally thought of
Yeah.
him as I said that name. Andy Pearson. Good morning,
Good morning.
and blessings to the House of Bolton.
Thank
America
you.
250.
Yep.
Yes, yes. So Seth mentions, but we were also told as kids that we may not actually know our clan because people would claim to be Campbell to access London and England, or London,
Wow.
England. Mhm.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting. So Chappie does state that his mom's father was born in Prussia in 1913.
And I have some Prussia in here.
Okay, I'm just gonna read a couple more and then we'll keep going.
So, does anybody know when Prussia came to an end? Because was that with the formation of the USSR? That can't
Chappie,
be.
do you know?
Because
Do you know
I
when
know there's a
Prussia
lot of
ended?
Prussia history, but I don't know anything about Prussia, and that might be something we should also.
That would be interesting.
Yeah,
to
I want
learn.
to know what's
Yeah.
going on with that because the education system is based on the Prussian model.
Yes. Now that's so cool. You guys got a connection worthwhile of
Cool.
staying on. I like it. Lemon Zinger is in. Good morning.
Good morning,
And
good
Jim
morning.
Haas states AI doesn't like to be corrected. I've had arguments where I've referenced specific sources. It will thank you for the info, but ignore it. Many a times.
Yes.
Many a times. I'm gonna make myself another cup of
Yes,
coffee.
absolutely. I
am
will carry
You
on with this
carry
because
on.
I got a whole encyclopedia to work through today. So, the colonies united against Britain, which led to what they called the first first Continental Congress. All right, which was delegates. I think 52 delegates. Sorry, there we go. I did make a note. So the first Continental Congress, 5 September to 26 October, or September 5. Let me speak American. September 5
they
to October
understand.
26, 1774, formed in Philadelphia in response to coercive intolerable acts. So all those coercive acts, and this is, someone said something the one day to me, and I still remember it to this day. And it's basically, it was about the government trying to plan areas, so to do like planning in terms of business, residential, and stuff like that. And the guy said he actually was a government guy, and he was one of the ones that I met that was actually nice, but generally, like all his colleagues were assholes. And I had a big fight with these guys, and I had to go to court. It cost me a lot of money, and I didn't win that battle, but I won the long-term battle, and I eventually got my rights that I wanted, business rights to do business on a premises. But what he told me is, he said, a land development is like a ball of dough. You can't control it. People will go and do what they want, where they want, as the need arises. All you can do is guide it and shape it. So you can't, if there's, like a road will be built because there's a requirement for a road. The road, the traffic doesn't get channeled where the roads are. Roads get built where traffic channels, basically. And business develops where there's a need, not where you want it to. So you can't say, we're going to put the businesses here, because that's not where they develop. They develop where the need exists. So you can just plan according to how the needs develop, and then try and channel areas to be used for business. So business will go where it needs to go, not where you want it to go, basically. And I have the same vision, or the same opinion, I guess, on controlling people. The harder you clamp, and this is what they do when they do all these acts and all this taxation, and the harder you put your fist around the population, the more kind of fall through your fingers, because the harder you squeeze that kind of population dough, the more of it will peel between your fingers, because you cannot hold it. People will not be held. They will peel through and fight you, because this is our nature. We will tolerate a certain amount of government, but once it gets overbearing, people will leave, and when they can no longer leave, so they'll leave and go away to a better place until they can't. And when they get cornered and boxed in, they will fight, which I think is what happened. Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, Chappie does state, no, not much. I have a picture of my Prussian grandfather. That is it, but possibly can get more information. So if you can, we would love to know.
We'll do
curious.
a Prussian thing,
But
because I've always been fascinated by Prussia, because it's not around anymore.
Yes, exactly.
And
Exactly.
what we don't want to do is conspiracies. There's people
No,
doing
but
conspiracies,
history.
but history is very cool.
Which would probably help with some of the conspiracies in
Yes.
which we are seeing, because history repeats itself.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
many a times. But go ahead, continue on. I've got some comments. I'll hold them for
12 colonies sent 56 delegates to coordinate resistance, boycott British goods, and petition the king. Laid the groundwork. This is what laid the groundwork for the independence. So that's where the original 12 colonies that formed the US comes from, was the 12 colonies that sent their delegates
for the first Continental Congress.
For the first Continental Congress to be formed in Philadelphia. Okay, and then there was this thing that was called the shot heard around the world.
Yes.
Okay, which was the first shots of American Revolutionary War at Lexington, Massachusetts. So that was the first, and British troops marched to seize colonial arms supplies in Concord and was met by Minutemen militia. A single shot, unknown who fired the first shot, nobody knows. Okay, sparked the battle. 8 Americans got killed at Lexington Green fighting. The fighting continued to Concord Bridge, and the British retreated under fire, which sparked the full-blown resolution. Now, from my understanding is losses were heavy. Okay, losses were very heavy, but the British retreated, which kind of gave people motivation, because it wasn't, nobody thought that they could actually beat the Brits back. And when that happened, then it was like, wow, okay, so we might have a chance. And it actually fueled the motivation to get this whole thing going. So just to get the timeline, so September to October, so beginning September to end October 1774 is when the first Congressional Congress was formed. 19 April 1775 is when that first shot that was heard around the world was fired. Because of his demeanor, he was a very very respectful person and a very respected figure, and he was brought in to balance the New England influence. So the purpose for the army was to form a professional force to fight. Are we back? Is it?
It's like
so let us
crashing for some reason.
All right, let us know if everything's working. Then we can pop back on.
No, it looks like it's coming back. I think it was actually internet,
okay.
not
all right.
Not
so
back up to your timeline where you were talking about when.
Okay, so let me back up to the timeline. Okay, so just to get the timeline right, and I'll repeat this because fucking data and rumbling and all bullshit. So the first Congressional Congress was beginning September to end October 1774. Okay, that was when they were formed in Philadelphia against or because of the coercive acts that England implemented, that Britain implemented. Okay, then in 19 April 1775 was the first shot fired in the Revolutionary War, heard as the shot or known as the shot heard around the world, and nobody knows who fired that. And that happened when British troops marched to seize the colonial arms and supplies in Concord. They were met by militia, Minutemen militia. A single shot, unknown who fired first, sparked the battle. 8 Americans were killed at Lexington Green. The fighting continued at Concord Bridge, and the British retreated under fire, which sparked like a full-blown revolution. All right. So that was 19 April 1775, and of course everybody's like, all right, fuck, we gotta sort this out real quick, otherwise we're gonna have shit. So June 14, 1775, the Continental Congress created the Continental Army to unify the militias against Britain.
So then is that it?
Well, maybe. So John Adams argued for the need of the army, and his words carried a lot of weight, and he was well respected, and people heeded his warning, and his warning was urgent. He's like, we got to do this now. It was very urgent. So 15 June 1775. So 15 June, 14 June, they had a meeting. 15 June, George Washington was appointed as the commander-in-chief of the U.S. Army. So one day later, and he was a Southerner, and he was brought in to balance the heavy New England influence and give the army a good balance. And one of the problems they had, so the purpose of the creation of the army was to form a professional force for independent struggle, for the independence, so the struggle of independence to get the U.S. as a country on its own. Okay, the challenges the army had right off the bat was they were very motivated but undisciplined, and a lot of soldiers that were in the army from certain certain colonies would refuse orders from other colonies because, like, fuck you, I'm not listening to you because you're not from my colony, and so that was one of the problems. So Washington had to implement discipline, and he implemented hygiene. He was very specific about the soldiers being clean because that also helps with like sepsis and shit when you get wounded. And again, this is not you don't have a fucking tank you're driving around in. These guys
This is the
bush
1700s.
bush warfare, man. Horses and fucking mud and blood and like feces and shit everywhere. This is not this is rough stuff. So these were fucking men. These were not our soy boys of today. So the trials they had issues, severe shortages, guns, gunpowder, food, clothing, very harsh winters, disease outbreaks, smallpox, low morale, and desertions plagued them because when shit goes bad and people are sick and you're getting shot at and people die and it's all fucking trumpets and victories when you read of it in the books, and nobody tells you about all the shit that goes on. So these guys had a very hard time.
All right, while you pause for a
All
second,
right.
we're going to say good morning to CK and Flugo.
CK owes us.
Yes,
CK
CK, I
owes
need your
us-
stuff so I can send you coffee.
Yes, you are the winner for last
Remember
week.
last week?
Yes, and then we have to announce another winner tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
You want ice or you want ice? Oh, there's ice in the fridge. Yes.
He's saying ice very clearly. That
Yes.
is a little eerie how clear he says that. But the comments I wanted to read you before, let me back up just a second. It was talking about the AI. Jim Ma had mentioned about AI. So it was actually Grok that he had an issue with. And he was talking about Carolina Bay. So something so simple. And he asked for the works of Antonio Zamora. And it went right back to the standard model. So it completely ignored what he had asked about.
Say hello. Hello.
I don't know if I've ever heard him say hello.
Nope.
Hello it is. Okay.
Hello it is. All right, come sit here for a second. Let Mom read the comments. Then Mom can go sort out what the problem
Yes,
is, okay?
I will help him. So Chappie did run away, had to go get chickens fed. Happy 4th to you. I think Lemon was off as well. She doesn't like when the rumble rumbles, and I don't blame her. Have an awesome 4th of July if you catch this later. But all right, let's continue on with the 13 colonies, where basically 13 separate countries held together by a treaty called the Articles of Confederation.
Yes.
That treaty wasn't sufficient for our new nation. That's right.
All right, go with Mom.
All right,
Yes.
let me help.
Yes, and I think they did that so they could fight the British together because they needed to band together to have enough fighting, or a big enough fighting force to actually. So after the shot that was heard around the world.
Shot heard around the world.
Yes. So after that, okay, obviously everybody was very like, okay. Then the British, hold on a second. So there was the Boston siege. Okay, so in the Boston area, and I just want to see because I got some notes of this, but where did it go? Did I copy over something? So there's the Boston Massacre, all right, which I thought I had more on. No, I must have copied over it. So no, there's the where's my how did I? Okay, no. So I had the Boston Massacre here.
Yeah.
Okay, right in the beginning. So the Boston area, the siege succeeded in Boston, but there were heavy losses at Bunker Hill in June 1775, which ties back to this guy, all right, to the Boston Massacre and everything else that happened, all right. So the siege succeeded, which motivated the Americans, but the losses were heavy, and I think they were saying something like half of all the British troops that were there got fucking murdered. So the Brits got upset, all right, and regrouped in New York and landed over 30,000 men. Okay, it was the biggest amphibious force ever collected by the Brits. So America suffered a major defeat in Brooklyn, Long Island. Washington evacuated under cover of night. So he pulled back in August 1776.
That's
okay?
why you guys are so stupid up there.
New York, the British captured the city in September 1776. The U.S. Army retreated across New Jersey, morale low, and it nearly collapsed. The whole thing almost fell flat because the Brits just fucked up the Americans in this section.
Okay.
And they actually chased the Americans through New Jersey, like murdering them and killing them. As they were retreating, the Brits were just like shooting them. So it's not like, okay, yeah, you run. No, they were chasing them down and chased after them to try and exterminate. Okay. Then in December, 26 December, the day after Christmas. Actually, it was Christmas Eve, I think, or like the night of Christmas. Washington crossed the icy Delaware River at night, surprised attacked the Hessian mercenaries, okay, in Trenton for American win and captured 1,000 prisoners, boosted morale, and encouraged reenlistments. This was a turning point after the New York defeats. So Washington didn't want to quit. He's like, fuck this, we're in this, and then we're going to be here till we die. So they hit Trenton, and that was a massive victory, which then they continued to Princeton, Saratoga, which brought in the French alliance, Valley Forge, winter 1777 to 1778, routing. So there was a guy from Prussia called Baron von Steuben, which was a army professional that was brought in to properly train the army. So he got specifically brought in from Prussia, and it's I almost want to say like Prussia almost sounds a little German. Yes. To me.
Yes.
So he was brought in, and he did not fight, but his specific job was to train the army, because the Prussians, as a lot of people that know anything about Prussia, is the entire schooling system was based on producing soldiers, military soldiers. Yeah. So their whole school system from young, they were training kids to be soldiers. Okay. So they still had supply chain failures, inflation, political intrigue against Washington. Okay, so they tried to take him out politically. Yorktown, decisive victory with French help in 1781, effectively ends major fighting. So the Yorktown fight. And then the end of the war was a treaty in Paris in 1783, which was mentioned yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and independence was secured. So in 1776, 4th July, the declaration was signed. But they still had to fight because, of course, the Brits were like, no, fuck off. You're not getting away that easily.
So they started fighting beforehand, signed the Declaration of Independence to really pull everybody together and make it, instead of those 13 separate colonies, actual country, and then push on.
So the Continental U.S. Army became the foundation of the modern U.S. Army. Okay, so from ragtag volunteers enduring starvation and defeat to ultimate triumph, the army that birthed the nation. So what also happened that is not in here is after this, after the war was won, there was a lot of dissent and a lot of unhappiness because the soldiers haven't gotten paid. So they marched on the Congressional Congress demanding payment and like, we're going to fucking kill you guys if you don't give us some shit. And Washington was actually the guy that calmed that down. So Washington actually stood up and made a speech, and his speech was listened to. And he pulled, apparently, his glasses out, and he had to put them on. And his words were, I have grown old in your service. So excuse me when I, need to put my reading glasses on to talk to you, something to that effect. But he basically told them that all of this service has made him old. Yes. And after that, just silence fell and everybody listened to him. Yeah. So Washington was a highly respected, very a very big man for the time.
Prominent influence. Yes. I mean, that's hence why he is president number 1.
Yes. So
I get it.
So yes, that is very interesting history. Yeah. And then obviously the army got sorted out because these guys were very upset because they didn't get paid. Yes. They were owed wages and things like that. So there were a lot of people that died and that's the birth of this great nation. So we'll delve into the whole kind of political, I guess, actual date and timestamp, which was going to tie a lot into this.
It is. Everything ties together.
Yes.
Everything ties together. Mexican Trumper, good morning. So, hey guys,
Good
put
morning.
simply, a strip of coastal population has a national project and conquers the world in 250 years. Happy 4th.
Yes, yes.
Sith. In this day of instant information exchange, I don't think people truly appreciate the gravity of the situation when the first shots were fired. Oh God, we have about 8 months, and King George is going to bring down the thunder. That is exactly correct. I mean, they only have so long before those lovely little pigeons, swim across and go tell them what's going on. It's because the hammer's going to come down, and that's exactly what happened.
That's
So
what happened in New York. Is they got that 30,000 people,
and if we look at the time frame, it's probably about correct.
Yes,
when New York happened.
Yes.
I love how the Patriots started using guerrilla warfare right at the start, but they didn't have another choice, Andy, because they were not well-trained soldiers like the Redcoats were. So
well, this is the same thing happened in South Africa. The guys were very, very good at horseback riding and shooting because that's how they hunted.
Yeah.
So to feed their families, they used to ride on horseback and shoot animals and feed their families. So they were so they were trained horsemen, like properly trained horsemen. And they could fight very well on horseback. And remember something, when you're in those thickets and the bush, and because it doesn't fucking look like this, where there's roads and shit. It's all bush and fields and grass, and so these guys are used to riding under trees and making little turns and corners and things like that, and what plants to avoid and things like that, which the Brits have no idea what to do. So they just come in as this marching force, and then you have these guerrilla fighters, and that's why they couldn't control the South Africans. We used the landscape and the skill of our riders to fucking punish these guys, and they don't like it because we just kick their asses, And I think what probably was our downfall is your guys' independence, because they learned from you and they're like, we're not fucking around with these South Africans because we got a hiding
years later. So
we got a hiding in the US with this exact same thing.
That's why they built the camps, because of control. Because they had to control you.
Yes,
so
exactly.
That's 100% population control.
So cheers to the US for actually pulling that off, man.
Jamal mentions Valley Forge. We are Americans will cross a frozen river on Christmas Eve to kill you in your sleep.
Yep.
Okay.
This is my rifle.
I feel like I read that.
I want to put that up somewhere in the shop.
I think we will.
Yes, I think we should.
I don't know if we want to remove that.
We might. That might have to go.
I think an American flag, and this is my rifle. Maybe the Rifleman's Creed, maybe the shortened version.
Yes.
Rifleman's Creed under it would be very telling and true to us.
Yes.
So I do have another comment. They made me offer to Washington to be king. He said no. He hated politics. He wanted to be a farmer.
Yes.
They made
Isn't
the offer.
it funny that the people that really don't want to do the job are the ones best suited to do the job? Like those guys that really don't want to do it.
Because they're not going to play the bullshit game.
Yes.
By the way, we have Flying Flower in. Hello. And
morning.
CK, I did see your comments. You are traveling. So you just let us know when you're ready.
Yes,
no issue. And I can send it anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I could even send it international. I wouldn't suggest it, but I could. But that one's not meat.
Yes.
So we're good. But that is it on comments. I am caught up for the moment.
Okay.
So tell me this. Today is July 4th, quincentennial, 250 years old for America. What are you guys doing? What's everyone doing? Have you already celebrated? Are you planning to celebrate? Are you blowing shit up? Are you starting fires? What are you doing?
If you go look at my X account at 5:30 this morning, the fire was lit, and I've got it at a very nice. So I've never made a brisket, so I split it in two, and I took the small side, the thin side, and I mean I'm not an expert at trimming these things because that's not my thing. It's not what we do, but anyway, so I'm learning. So I took the small side, I did trim it up a little, and I put our braai rub or the braai spice on that one. And then I took the thick side and I put salt and pepper only, because I was told that that's the way, is salt and pepper. So Celtic salt, coarse black pepper, rubbed up nicely, sat for 24 hours, about 18 hours. It sat in the spices to absorb, and I left it open in the fridge. I put it in the fridge, but I left it open so it can dry a little. And then that went on the Kamado. Komodo. So it's not quite a smoker, but Komodo, and I can control it. So it's under charcoal. So I don't have any of
Charcoal's under it.
Oh yeah, it's on charcoal. No, I'm just trying to think. So I don't have any of the oak and mesquite and all the other fancy stuff. I just have
I mean,
charcoal.
I can go get some bushwood.
Yes, we got bushwood here, whatever it is. But I got the charcoal, and I got it.
Trees.
Yes, I got it set at it's running around 220.
Yeah.
So, and my probe is a little far away, so it doesn't want to sync to my phone. Maybe I must bring the box in. Let me go check my temperature. I did before we started the stream. I threw some more charcoal on there. So let me go see.
Looks like we've got some people with some awesome stuff today. Of course, Gemma, you have your grilling your bites and steaks and playing Minecraft. Very nice. Very cozy. Sith, what are you doing? You didn't answer. Are you doing anything? Are you working? I mean, we're working, but we are still going to play at least a little bit because we have to play on America's birthday. I mean, it's our job as Americans, right? Have some fun, do some stuff. Anton and I have, and I guess this is the first time we've kind of said we're just going to be open today. But
yes, we normally have a principle of closing.
Yes, we
Let me
don't.
come this side, everybody can see me.
We don't expect it to be busy by any means because you're either traveling, doing lots of places are closed today, of course, with it being the 4th.
That thing will.
Is it sinking?
It might.
Okay, we shall see.
Yes, I switched it on. I moved it closer. Yes, so I am at 155 internal temp after 2.5 hours. On the thick one. So the thin one might actually be ready for action.
Okay.
Oh,
and then what are you going to do once it's ready for action? What's that mean?
Well, you're supposed to wrap it when it's ready for action.
Okay.
And do stuff. So I will have to go do some research.
And find out what else you must do.
Yes.
Sith is going to the big fireworks show here in Missouri River in Old Town St. Charles, just outside of St. Louis. Very nice.
Okay.
Mexican Trumper says probably going swimming and barbecue something with the wife and brother.
Nice,
Awesome.
nice.
Somebody told me that yesterday. I asked if they were doing anything for the 4th of July. And the response I got, I had to chuckle at it. No, we're not doing much. We're just going to relax, maybe go grill and have some friends over. Like, why are you not excited about that? I told her that sounds wonderful. What an awesome way to spend the 4th of July. Don't downplay, please.
What's up? No, go play. Go play. Got my son listening. Ears. Yeah, you guys can go load the bulldozer for me.
I think they already did.
Oh, okay. Yep. It's already loaded. Oh, okay, wisecrack. Always an answer, these guys.
There's always an
fucking
answer.
Clever.
There's always an
answer.
So for us, we are going to have a bonfire today. We've got a lot of brush. You know that those bush trees I spoke about.
Got a bunch of them. I've been chipping them up. I think maybe today we burn them.
Sounds much better. The chipping takes a minute. It is fun though,
yes.
But that thing is aggressive.
And it's loud,
chipper.
and it's
I don't want loud today.
No, that thing, man. You would think, you just take stuff, you put it in the chipper. Man, that thing works your arms. It scratches you up. It's
aggressive.
Oh yeah, no, that thing is rough, man.
I do chuckle. A lot of our tools that we have acquired are very aggressive out here. Like everything.
Yes. Well, at least I hope that was an informative session. It was very informative for me. I am learning all kinds of new things, which I find very interesting. So
I have to chuckle. A lot of the stuff, yes, was covered very quickly when I was in school. I do remember Valley Forge. I remember Shot Heard Around the World. I remember a lot of those key points, but man, the public school system does not do us a service because they do not encourage us to be grateful and to heed this as pretty much a warning as to what could happen if we let our society die. Mm-hmm. It's like we won't have the freedoms that we have today, and then we would have to go fight again, and that's horrible to even think of. But when push comes to shove,
what I like is, they say, the War of Independence was fought for 2% tax. That's bullshit. It's not what happened.
No, but everything else that's forced
on
the people.
Well, that's, the thing is they always seem to want to distill things down, especially the prodders and pokers. It's like, you will accept 40% tax now, but the war was fought for less than like 2%. No. There was a monopoly given.
Yes.
okay, to the East India Company to import tea. So and soldiers were or the public was forced to take in soldiers into their homes. There was a lot of contributory. It's not just the tax. You know, the way you listen to some of these people, they pretend like it was only the tax. And people were like, no, I'm done. And it wasn't. There was a lot of shit
There's
going
a
on.
lot more to it.
Yeah.
Frogman has joined us.
Hey,
Hello,
good morning.
Keats.
Good
Happy
morning.
250th birthday.
Yeah.
Keats Thomas Paine in the communist ass. You got it. I'm glad you didn't hear everything else. We mentioned some hard facts and history to swallow, but we are glad you are here.
Yes, we are glad you are here.
Here now. And Sith says, and this is what I agree with. I am class of 92 in rural Missouri, and our American history / civics was absolutely pathetic. So glad we homeschooled our daughter. Sith, I don't know how you feel about this, but coming from public school here in Texas, in DFW in Arlington, not far from here, there's a lot of things that I was taught, which I have had to relearn because it wasn't actually true, or it's inflated, or the emphasis was on the wrong syllable, you know, where they actually try to make you focus on something that was not important about that time frame and train your mind to focus on like the DEI version of it. And this isn't, I didn't graduate yesterday.
Yes.
So this isn't now.
Yeah, so
this
imagine
is many
how
years
bad
ago.
things are now.
I can't even fathom it, because there's the answer's no. The answer's homeschool.
But except for that, you know, instead of taking the facts and teaching the kids, these people take it on their shoulders that they are now the purveyors of information, and they put their spin on it. And every time, you know, unfortunately, the problem with the quote unquote communists are they eat their own. So they always become more progressive, because it's never about communism, it's always about the revolution.
Yes.
They have to fight the revolution. So they become more and more revolutionary in their person. So what happens is, you know, they water down your education a little bit, you know, to kind of take the sharp edges off, you know, and then the next guy comes and he's like, well, that wasn't enough. So, you know, then they start changing it a little bit. And then the next guy comes and then he takes
he likes to yell. It's a yelling
Yes, but
thing.
someone's giving him a hard time. And I'm sure it's Michael. My oldest son terrorizes his siblings. He's the nonsense guy. But anyway, so they keep changing it all the time to suit the narrative they want to push, because their ultimate goal is commie takeover, and that's not going to be good if that shit happens. And you know, there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people, not here, worldwide. There's a lot of people that want to see America fail. You know, I was thinking about it today, because you know, there's doing research and stuff like that. You know, when I grew up, not when I grew up, when I was young at work, I ended up working with a lot of guys, and we had a lot of diversity in terms of nationalities at Siemens, where I worked. So I worked for Siemens, and we did telecommunication rollouts. So we had Brits, we had Scots, we had Irishmen, we had Polacks, we had Yugoslavians, we had people from all over, lots of Germans, you know, and then of course local guys, etc., etc. And a lot of the English guys, wow,
that was a big zap.
A lot of the English guys really, you know, not the English guys, a lot of the kind of Europeans, including the English.
He's doing it on purpose now.
They spoke down to Americans, and I could never understand. And they always told me, Americans, they're so stupid. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand anything. They think they're the best and stuff like that. And I did not understand what they, like, I don't know, because you know, no, I'm going to throw them out and I'm going to lock the doors if that's what they want to do. But I never understood why. And then I met a couple of Americans, and I was like, well, they're pretty nice guys. You know, like, I mean, they work hard. They have a slightly different focus. Like what I found so what I found with the Europeans is they have a work and then kind of pub culture. if I can almost say it that way. So they would work.
It's midday siesta.
Yes. Well, I mean, you work and they work okay during the week. It's but like Friday afternoons, and this was a thing at Siemens. We used to leave a little early because we used to do our hours longer in the week, and then Friday afternoon you go early, and then people go to the bar, and but it's kind of like you work and then you dine out, and I always found the Americans not to do that.
Yeah.
I found the Americans to just work.
Just keep working.
Yes, just to keep working and be very much to themselves. Like they didn't mingle a lot. They were just focused on getting the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Very single-minded in pushing.
Because it's not socialistic to
yes.
work.
No, well, that's the thing.
It's socialistic mind is
yes, and I always found like a lot of the South Africans were very happy going to Australia because they're like, oh, in Australia, the difference between a CEO and a street sweeper's pay is the lowest in the world. And I'm like, yeah, why would I ever want to fucking go there? It sounds like a bad country. They're like, no. So basic jobs, you get good pay. And I'm like, well, yeah, but if I work really hard, I want better pay than you. Like, I don't want to get the same pay as you, and I work hard and you do fuck all. That doesn't sound right. So I never ever had an interest of going to Australia or to New Zealand. That just wasn't a thing for me. I always wanted to come to the US because it was supposed to be this like beacon of freedom, but you have to work. And I always liked that,
I shared something the other day, and Marcus is not here to make fun of your tractor size because Marcus is stuck on Anton's tractor size for some reason. But anyways, I digress. So I posted out
I told him it's all I could get for $3.
I posted a picture of an American flag that the kids had planted on one of our newly formed gravel heaps with Anton's tractor in the background. And it completely represents our version of American freedom, is the right to do whatever the fuck we want.
Yep.
But we work for it. So it's our stuff and our right, and it's our version of America and our property. So and everybody else who doesn't like it, go get fucked. And everybody who wants to join us in on it, more the merrier.
Yes.
I would say.
Exactly.
But let me add in a couple of comments. We've got some people who are in agreement with you, but of course, Frogman, he can't help himself. He is calling me Pippi Longstocking today, but it's Pippi Long-Biltong today, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Do you have Frogman mentioning that socialism is a mental disorder? And you, sir, I do apologize. I know you have a lot of that up in the northern Americas. So one day we will.
America's hat, isn't it?
Right, America's hat. Sith says, yes, Queen, my generation was kind of the vanguard of the indoctrination, but it was there. I have no doubt your experience was worse, as you know how they slowly ramp that up. You know what? I didn't realize actually how, obviously, you cannot see it. When you were in it, you're the frog in the water boiling. You don't notice it at first. It slowly turns up. I didn't like it. I didn't like school. I thought it was a waste of my time. I started taking summer courses when I was in middle school to get out early because I hated it. I didn't like what I was in for. I wanted to do other things. So I would take summer courses twice a year from about age 13 or so. And I wound up leaving school early. Technically, a year early is when I graduated, but I actually stopped my courses a semester prior to that because I was in a work program as I was already working. I didn't want to be there. I hated it. I really hated school. So like what you talk about where you isolate and do your own thing, that's exactly what I did. Didn't have many friends, didn't participate in any school activities. All I wanted to do was get out and move on. And that was probably the best and most independent things in my life that really built my character with my work ethic. So I'm very glad I went through that. But I don't want my kids to have to sit around and do fuck all for 8 hours a day and be at a babysitter who's going to teach them bullshit. The answer is no. So that's when we talked about homeschooling, I thought of kind of replayed what I went through, and it dawned on me that maybe the reason I struggled was because I didn't believe in the nonsense we were being taught at the time.
Yep.
And even who is it? It was Andy Pearson says he graduated in '76, probably one of the last that received education rather than indoctrination. And you're probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Jamal did mention, I've run into that on Article 5 everywhere. Everyone just knows it's too dangerous, but they don't know why or how. So much misinformation out there. Yes,
propaganda, man.
Propaganda.
Actual propaganda.
Dead Dingo Dan does remind you, Dad, that screaming kids means fun is being had.
Oh,
Actually, what was happening, that young man, so he knows he's very loud and he's really got this scream down. So he stands by the entryway and just screams.
yes.
That's what he was doing.
Yes.
He was just doing
Yeah,
it.
he wants
He
attention.
was just being a turkey butt. Screaming kids aren't the concern. Silent kids are when you worry. I know.
No,
you're not wrong.
So I just want them to be rowdy, not loud. Just if I can hear them, I'm happy.
Frogman, the scream reminds me of the end of the Blair Witch Project. I have not seen that. Remember when the protagonist enters that old house and the guy is standing in the corner? Yes, I do remember that. I did
Blair
watch
Witch.
that movie.
I watched a little bit of it, and then I was like,
was very
this thing
broken and
doesn't make any
low
sense.
budget.
Yes.
You know which movie I was thinking of, and I forgot to mention it almost. The Patriot.
Yes.
I used to love The Patriot. And
yes.
this
I was thinking
conversation,
about it this morning, yes.
like I'm replaying the scenes of The Patriot and poor Mel Gibson, that man.
Yes.
I liked that movie. I liked that movie a lot.
No,
and
so
was
did
it propaganda? Is that why I liked it? I liked the how it made me feel watching it, because I'm very proud of American history and us breaking away and forming this incredible nation. Dead Dingo Dan says, choose your destruction, Dad's belt or Mum's wooden spoon. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. My mom had a Hot Wheels track. I don't remember her ever using it, but we knew better than to test her. Okay, so who was it? Sith, you're a Southerner, Missouri. Yes. So my grandparents in Louisiana. Okay, and we're talking the bayou in Louisiana. They had a pallet, and it was just on the wall. There's this pallet. And anybody knows what that's used for? Okay, it's like that thing just hung on the wall, and it was like a reminder of what could happen. So you behaved in Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Yeah.
Just saying. Biltong stocking. You guys are horrible. WMD1, good morning. Is Anton pushing his meat again? No, I am.
Yes. True. Actually, you know what? We haven't even mentioned BiltongUSA.com once.
With code RRR for 10% off of your Biltong purchase.
So
we haven't mentioned it.
If you are a pirate, yes. So and share, repost. The reposts work really well, and follow. That would be cool.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll do the Air Force tomorrow.
Yes. We'll finish up with these couple of comments and then let you guys have on your merry 4th of July way. But Sid says, yep, if you want some good recs for great homeschool curriculum, let me know. Regardless, you can't go wrong focusing on classical education and the sciences. Biggest thing, these things are going to work with all of my kids. And then this thing, it's not going to stop. No question. That's my goal as a parent, is to have them functional, to use their hands and to do whatever they want it to do, because they can learn as long as they use their brain and question.
So my notes that I made here is going to my son, because he asked if he can read them.
That's why he was sitting here. He actually wanted to listen to this discussion because he's very interested in our topic. He saw the first round of notes and he's like, what's that? I like that. Can I read that?
Yes.
Was his response to it. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, and we want to teach them, good or bad, the actual history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good or bad, doesn't matter. The actual history. So, yeah.
But all right, everybody, have an awesome 4th of July. Let me see who I can raid.
Yeah, I don't know how many or who is going to be live today, but
I don't either, but I can find out. Actually, we had a fun raid yesterday. Whom was it that we went to?
Was it Robert?
We went to Robert, and then I had a second raid.
To...
Oh my goodness. He was so cool. I really liked him.
Yes.
Why can't I remember?
Nero gave him and said we should raid him.
No, it wasn't Nero.
Was it Nero?
It wasn't Nero.
But it was someone. It was very,
I'm gonna
very good.
find it because he liked something of ours. I really liked him. It was his 3rd anniversary on Scottish Viking Gaming. There we go. Scottish.
Yes.
Yeah, he was interesting. He was funny.
Yes.
I liked his show.
So we'll see what we can find for the raids. We will pass you guys over if you want to go. But yeah, I think this was this was very educational for me. I really liked looking up the details and facts on the American Army, which ties in with the independence. Very, very interesting.
I'm not going to send you guys to a news station, which is like all that there is out there right now. We're not doing news stations.
Yeah, we don't want to do news. It's like, man, or
can we
not
not
news,
have
but
something
politics.
else?
It's like, fucking hell. It's like
Something
everybody
else.
does politics. I'm a little tired of
I mean,
politics.
I can send you to a what did you say you don't want to do?
Conspiracies.
Conspiracy
Oh,
theories.
there's someone doing some conspiracies.
No, CanCon is on. If
Okay,
you
well,
like me.
yeah, CanCon is good. CanCon's a good guy.
Yeah. That's better than like Newsmax. And
Yeah, but CanCon sometimes does games. But he's a good guy. We can rate him.
It's a week in review.
Yes.
So
Yeah, rate CanCon. That will work.
I think
So-
that would be better.
Party hard and wake up early tomorrow.
Gotta work
Because we'll be
tomorrow.
at 8 o'clock.
Gotta work tomorrow. And we
Yeah.
gotta play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Ah! Why you make noises? What is this noise nonsense? What
that
is
was
this?
accidental. It must
Whoopsie.
be.
There we go.
Yes. It's a loud.
I'm sorry.
Loud.
I'm so sorry.
There's an echo in the room. So let me see where we are at. Oh, Ben's also live.
Is he?
He is.
I did not see him. It's not Rumble.
It just popped up. 163. Ah, so we still got a little bit to go. Let me see. It just popped up. I just got a notification. Let me see. Feed. Live. The CanCon.
Because I have him, so that was not showing for me.
No.
That was not showing. Okay.
The,
All right.
the problem with this live. No, he's live. Yeah.
Okay. I
Did
said
you-
bye-bye.
All right. Did you hit CanCon?
I did.
All right.
I did. I'm sorry.
See you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.
Cheers.
Central. Bye-bye.